check out this cool vintage horn. This is a Conn 10A long cornet. The reason we know it's a long cornet is because stamped on the mouthpiece receiver, you can see an A here. With Conn, B always stood for trumpet, so that Connstellation 38B that a lot of people really enjoyed and still play, the B designated that as trumpet, the A was always cornet. And obviously this looks like a trumpet, but it's stamped A. It has a smaller bore, conical bore, a larger bell, and the shaping is like a trumpet. So these were long cornets. Conn started making these around like the 50s. This particular horn has two variants. The early model was the 10A Victor. It was made from 1955 to 1957, and the later model was the 10A Artist, modeled a little closer after the 38B, made from 1958 to 1961. The horn I have here is an Artist model. The reason we can tell, the biggest reason, is the lead pipe. As you can see, this has a Coprion lead pipe. The earlier versions just had a brass lead pipe. So more specs of the horn. The length of the horn is 21 3/8 inches. The bell size, 5 inches and 1/8. So 5 and 1/8 inches. The bore at the second valve slide is 0.43. We have the nice Coprion bell, Coprion lead pipe. You have some, I'll show you, lacquered tuning slides, and the valve block is that kind of chrome plating that Conn was doing a lot of. The valves, I'll pull up a picture of the valves, but as you can see, it's kind of that standard Conn style with the almost canister, and inside the valve there's an E-clip with the spring. It's very interesting, but on the horn the valves just feel great. They're a really short throw. I don't know if you can see that. I have a bend here, which is kind of the opposite. Look at the difference in the throw. I try and line them up best I can. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Bend trumpets really have a really long throw, and this has a really short throw. So I play my bend predominantly, and it's very strange to get used to. But the valves are like butter. They feel great. You have a third valve slide ring. Nothing on the first valve slide. Something that's unusual is there's like no bracing on this third valve slide, so it's really easy to kind of bend this out of alignment. But it moves great. Standard valve caps. Mine's missing one of them, so little downside, but mine is in like perfect shape. Here's the compression. And then the first valve slide, it's got the pop. It's got pop going in. This is just in really great shape, and because it's a Conn, they're built to last. So I'll play a few notes on this horn. One thing I love about it is there's so much colors you can choose from. So I'm going to demonstrate playing it like a cornet first. It's just got a really pretty warm sound. But if I play it like a trumpet, excuse my flubs a little bit, but hopefully you get an idea. It can sound like a cornet, it can sound like a trumpet. What I really like playing it for is just messing around with some jazz licks on the thing. You can get a really nice fluffy sound, and then you can get a really bold trumpet character. you kind of get an idea of what I mean. The low register on this thing. It just really plays low. The only downside is third valve slide throw is not too long, and there's nothing on the first valve slide, so I can't reach that low F in that excerpt. But let me try and play a little up in the upper register for you so you get an idea. It's a little difficult up there because it's a cornet mouthpiece, right? I don't have really any cornet mouthpieces. I'm playing on a 1.5 C, and this kind of segues into the downsides. I'm a trumpet player. I don't own much cornet mouthpieces. In fact, I'm borrowing this. I don't even own this one. And so if I wanted to use it to play like some lead, which I think this might be good at, I need to get a lead cornet mouthpiece or an E flat, maybe soprano cornet mouthpiece, which I don't have. And that's kind of, I think, the downside. But I'll mention the positives, how it feels. It's one of those horns where I feel like I just can't stop playing it. I want to play it. I can't put it down. The intonation, I think the intonation is actually really pretty good. It feels great in all the registers. I feel like it's in tune. It's consistent, but it's consistent with the different colors you can get. You can play the entire register of the horn really soft like a cornet, or you can play it really bold like a trumpet. I really love this horn, but as I mentioned, the cornet mouthpiece is kind of a downside to it. It's also really heavy. It's hard to kind of put in perspective. This thing is just, it's a beast. You have the copper plating, but in the chrome plating, it's just, I swear it probably weighs twice as much as my bench does. But that's partially why it has such a nice dark and rich sound to it. As for how I got this horn and pricing, I think you usually see these horns go for around $850 to $1,000. I see some listings as high as $1,600, but those have not sold, and I'm not sure they will. But as for how I got my horn, I was just getting some guitar strings at a music shop, and I saw this case sitting in the corner. It was a Connstellation case, and I recognized that style case. So I went, I'm going to just take a look and see what this is. And I open it up, and I see that Coprion lead pipe and the Coprion bell. I had no idea what this was. I didn't even know long cornets were a thing. I just knew that the Coprion bell meant that I knew 1 or 2 models that had it, but this looked like a Connstellation. So I figured there was probably something special here, and it was only $100. And so I was like, I'll just take it. It was being sold, not really working, being sold more as parts or as is. But I took it home. The valves did not work. The slides were terrible. I kid you not, just put it in the bath, and the valves freed up, the slides freed up, and the thing just plays great. There's no problems with it. The only thing that was wrong was when I first got it, the lead pipe was bent down a little bit, and that's another downside. This thing sticks out really far. And something to mention, this really only fits in gig bags and the case it came in, because other cases, this sticks out, the receiver sticks out past the case. I was fortunate enough to have the original case, and it fits in my ProTech gig bag, but nothing else. None of my other hard shell cases does it fit. But I got mine for a steal, and sometimes you might be able to see them. People might not know what they are, or think they're just kind of, oh, it's a cornet. Not really a trumpet. No one wants a cornet. I really think if you can pick one of these up, you'll enjoy it. So there's a little bit about the horn. Hope you enjoyed learning about something maybe you've not heard before, and excuse my poor playing today. There you go.